Hi, this is Mark, and I'm once again in the yoga room at my gym, and I am doing the reading from the Golden Present Daily Inspirational Readings by Sri Swami Satchidananda, and nearing in on the final days of this 365-day video project. And even though it's getting challenging this month, I'm definitely going to finish. I'm going to continue to make it through. A little behind, so this is the reading for December 9th. And the topic is, nothing is impossible to accomplish. The entire life is based on imagination. In a way, you are also imagining in meditation. In meditation, you think of God. Have you ever seen God? No. So you are imagining. That must be God. God should be like this. God should be like that. That is your God. Another person would imagine the same God in his or her own way. That is why even God's form varies according to the person who imagines God. That is the proof that everything comes from within. In meditation, you are imagining something that you want to ultimately become or develop. God is almighty. God is all-powerful. God is all-forgiving. God is all love. You constantly think of certain things, and the mind assumes that image, assumes that quality. But one thing is important. You should think strongly. You should be strong enough in your suggestions. That is what you are trying to develop in your meditation. You are strengthening your thoughts by constantly thinking of the same thing. To make yourself strong in your thoughts, you have to keep on dinning that into your mind. This is what I want to become. This is what I want to become. That means you imagine that you are going to be like that you are that. Then certainly you will become that. Once you achieve that kind of thought power, nothing is impossible to accomplish. Well, a very affirming one for today. And I feel like though it points to a practice, it points to disciplining the mind, as he says here, keeping strong. And that's something that is definitely challenging. I feel like I've proven that with this video project, that there are times when I fall behind. There are times when it's challenging to do, and then there are days when I can catch up, and I've made 3 videos in one day before to catch up, which might be today. See what happens. So I know that I can do that. It's dependent on certain things in my day, but I know that I'm committed. So maintaining that commitment and something on a daily basis that I know I'm thinking about, I'm trying to figure out how to make it work. And I think I need more strength in this area. I feel like I've learned, though, through this process, what's being talked about here, that you can, in meditation, keep that thought consistent, whatever that expression is that you believe that God is, or that you believe that your highest self is. Continue to think of that, think of that, think of that, because that's what's going to help strengthen that. It's just like a muscle. It's just like practicing on a yoga mat or working out at the gym. You can't expect to show up and have everything be developed and everything to be easy and perfect. By no means is that going to be possible for anyone. Some things may come easier than others. There may be some other things you've been doing in your life that have prepared you for some of these things that help you have a little more ease with it. I feel like my yoga practice has helped me in the gym room, being able to connect with my breath, being able to focus on the quality of the movement rather than just trying to rush through or push through working out, but actually to do it in a way that I know is stimulating the muscles in a very healthy way, in a productive way. Sometimes we do things that may look productive, but it's counterproductive. So we need that guidance. We need that daily practice and guidance to be able to create consistency that's going to be beneficial. Sometimes we have consistency with some things that are non-beneficial. Sometimes we know that. We know what those things are. It could be bad habits, addictions, compulsions, whatever that is. And sometimes we're able to resolve those and make peace with what those are about and find out what the true expression of that is meant to be. And then we can thrive. We can move forward and let that energy that's kind of pent up or basically being misused, and give it that right direction. give it that right purpose. It's like giving it the right job. It wants to do something, it wants to express, but it just needs that focus. And I feel that having some kind of a practice that strengthens the mind creates that type of focus, and then there's less resistance. There'll always be resistance. I even talk about it in my classes, like notice that first point of resistance. So even for someone, to bend this much, they'll notice resistance, whereas somebody else bends, this much until they notice resistance. It's going to look different on the outside, but the inside is still having the same experience across the world. All of us are internally feeling stretch and strengthening energy when we're exerting ourselves in a way that's helping us grow. This affirmation that nothing is impossible to accomplish, just even having that thought, it creates this yes kind of feeling, and I feel like we need that versus the part of the brain that may say, oh, I don't know if you're really going to accomplish that, or everybody else can accomplish that, but you're not going to accomplish that. Or people could do that before, but you just can't do that now. That kind of thinking immediately shuts down the neural pathways in the brain to be able to create things that are possible. We see it every day. There are things happening, people who are limited for different reasons, who you might think like the odds are against them, and then boom, they do something spectacular. And that could be us, that could be you. And we just have to recognize the mind sometimes and oftentimes is the thing that will hold us back and limits us. And this is actually exactly what the yogis recognize, that is the case. So what can we do to get to the mind, to help strengthen the mind? Having a physical practice can help, using our physiology to be able to navigate awareness of how this whole body, mind, spirit thing works. It all informs the other. And sometimes by entering in through physical movement and practice, it starts to stimulate certain kinds of positive energy to the brain. And again, it requires some good guidance and understanding of the full practice and the full spectrum of what's offered in something like yoga, but also working out, any kind of movement class, dance, exercise classes, etc., just as long as they're being done in a way that's productive again. All right, well, that's what came out today. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Okay, probably later today.